Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean, this is In The Mixer, and we are up to episode 58 of our Hashtag United series. It's the last two episodes, sorry, not the last two episodes, the last two games of season 14. We have secured Premier League safety for another season. We're currently sitting in 12th spot. We have the opportunity, but it is an outside chance to actually finish in the top 10 this season, depending on how our results go in this episode. So here's the scenario. Watford, if they lose their final game of the season and we win our remaining two, we will jump above them on goal difference. Bournemouth have 2 games to play. We need them to lose one or at most get 1 point in those remaining fixtures, plus win our own games to jump above them and into 10th spot. Stoke have played the same amount of games with us. They're on 43 points, so 2 points ahead, and we'll have an opportunity to leapfrog them today. And Newcastle United are 1 game ahead of us. They've played 37 matches, but level with us on points, only separated by goal difference. So a 7-goal swing in today's episode would see them go above us and us drop down to 13th spot. Now, we're just going to do it one at a time. We're going to do it one match at a time, and the first one up is Norwich, who are currently down in 15th spot. They aren't mathematically assured a place yet with 2 games remaining, so they've still got a ton to play for. And then in the other game, we're playing Crystal Palace, a Selhurst Park derby. They're in a similar scenario to us, 37 points, which sees them safe for the remainder of the year, and that they will be playing Premier League football next season. But I'm sure, like us, it's the last Selhurst Park derby before we move into our own stadium. I'm sure they want to win it just as much as we do. So you may have briefly already looked, but we have done okay kind of since the last episode. Of course, that 1-1 draw and a 4-0 win against a 4-0 loss to Man City. We then had a 5-2 defeat to Liverpool. And like the yo-yo team we are, we then beat Everton away 2-1 in a fantastic performance. Then a 5-3 defeat to Brentford, who are terrible in the bottom of the division, before drawing 1-1 with Arsenal and then being very unlucky to lose 2-0 to Chelsea. We played most of this game with 10 men and we held on for quite a while, but really they were peppering the goal for the whole game, so 2-0 was definitely a scoreline that probably flattered the chances that we conceded for them. We then played Watford and lost 1-0, and I was just kind of getting sick of the whole good performance, bad performance, good performance, bad performance. So I've been tweaking around with our tactic again. In the last episode, we went through like a gegenpressing tactic that Trequartista had put together, and I'd kind of adapted a little bit to do some different stuff in possession. There were elements of that I really liked, elements that I didn't like, but also I think there were things that we were doing well in it and things that we weren't doing well in it. So we've kind of made an adjustment to our in possession and out of possession instructions. Just to drop a couple down, we've got 6 instructions for each, 3 for the in transition components, and I've also gone through and created similar but not the same cautious and attacking mentalities so that we can game manage a little bit better. Attacking for when we need to push on and go for a goal and play a bit more aggressive, and cautious when we need to just drop back a little bit, manage the game, keep possession a little bit more and go from there. All of them utilising kind of more direct passing, because I actually did like the way that we were moving the ball forward quickly and going for cross-field switches and balls from fullbacks, finding wingers on the other side and all that sort of stuff. But we're going to do it a little bit more responsibly. It's not going to be as gung-ho to give good teams back the ball. And since then, we have had a pretty good run of results. We beat Newcastle 4-2 at home, probably one of our better performances this season, albeit they did go down to 10 men in the 55th minute. We drew 1-1 away with Burnley. This game could have gone either way. They had chances to win it late. We had chances that we should have taken early on. And then we beat Huddersfield 3-1 in the last match of April to guarantee our survival in the Premier League. We then had Manchester United, league champion Manchester United, come and visit Selhurst Park. It was an injury time goal to Claudio Fleitas in the first half. There was a guy that shot, it deflected off one of our defenders, fell to his feet, he volleyed it. Patinama came out with a phenomenal save, but could only push it back in the same direction, and he followed up with the volley. Even then, Patinama got something on it, but it was just one of those really unfortunate goals that you see. From a signing perspective, Jan Sigrist, who we actually picked up in the last game, has been doing quite well. Navarro, who joined us later on in the season, has also been doing well. And Eric Rapp, this will be the first time that you guys get to see him today. The young German fullback has been excellent and really made that position his own, which has been great to see. Wonder Kid watch, we're still sitting at 5 at Sreko Kupic, Jeremy Berger, Juan Carlos Navarro, who's been fantastic in the second half of the season, Nazim Ikanovic and George Sosa up top. They are going to be joined by at least one extra Wonder Kid, because Nen, who we purchased about 3 years ago when he was 15, once he turns 18, which is in a couple of weeks, I think he will join us in the June transfer window once it opens. Already moved up to that Wonder Kid description, 4.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. Cannot wait to get him on board. I don't know what we're going to play him as. He might play as the advanced forward, but he's got such good technical ability that I'm really kind of tempted to kind of tweak things a little bit and fit him into a different spot. That is the only change we've made. The complete forward has come in alongside the advanced forward. Really just to find a way to get George Sosa and Sigrist together out there on the park, but not both as advanced forwards, because that's both of their preferred positions. But more than enough for me. You guys want to see how the league season is finished, and it's been forever since we actually had 2 wins in an episode. So fingers, toes, whatever appendages you've got that you can cross, do so now so that we can get through these games against Norwich and Crystal Palace and get 6 points. They've still got Ethan Ampadu playing. Gasparini is their star player in goal. I think he's an ex-Udinese goalkeeper. Yep, and then he went through Chelsea and then to Juventus and Bournemouth and Bayer Leverkusen and Liverpool, and now he's at Norwich. So he's been around a little bit. Ethan Ampadu still going strong at 31 years of age. And Bali Mumba, which is a great name, ex-Sunderland it looks like, junior. And he's bounced around a couple of different lower divisions teams before making his home at Norwich in the Premier League. We're of course going in our 4-4-2 shape. It's pretty much the same team that we've played the majority of the season so far. Navarro currently leading everyone in terms of average match rating, our star player. Greshey with the most assists. Sosa, our captain, is our leading goal scorer. Arthur O'Connell has been really struggling since he made his move to Leicester, so good riddance. Passionate, let's give the fans something to cheer today. Okay, someone looks stressed, so let's just say I think there's a lot more to come from everybody. That's turned him around. It was Arkanovic, the young Bosnian midfielder. But really, I just really want to get 6 points in this episode to finish the season strong, put us in a good position, and then hopefully have a strong off-season to continue our push up the division and higher up into those top 6 positions. Is there anything going to be from this highlight? Raps brought it down incredibly well and stepped inside. Gets a crossover to Greshey, who's on the deck and finds the finish 30 seconds in to the final game of the season. He gets his 4th goal of the year. Eric Rapp did phenomenally well to keep that ball in. It was smashed at him about neck height. Look at that touch. I think it hit him in the back almost, judging by the animation. It's a good ball across to Greshey, who takes a good touch inside. Keeper maybe could have come out and done a bit better, but from about a yard out, he puts us a goal to the good. And exactly the sort of response that I wanted. Immediate highlight for them here, Leandro Damião to take a throw in. It's closed down well. Peter's going to have an opportunity to reset through Bradbrook, who's a wonder kid of his own. I do recognise that name, 20-year-old English defender. We've looked at him a couple of times, but I don't think we can afford to pay the money for him. Good ball inside to Peters, Pereira. They're playing some nice little triangles here. Navarro's recovered. Sigrist has the ball now. There's a crossfield switch on to Sosa. He's got Greshey outside of him. He finds him now. Square ball back into Sosa, and that is an excellent finish from George Sosa. His 13th goal of the season, and yet another assist for Tomas Greshey. And 4 minutes in, we are 2 goals to the good. So this might actually be one of our better performances of the season. Touch whatever wood happens to be near you. I know Sports Interactive listens in. I know they can hear me. I know that means that they're going to coordinate like some sort of top corner 60-yard volley for the other team. Berger now with a deep free kick. Akanovic back to Berger. Forward to Greshey, who's picked up a bit of a knock. They have recovered the ball. Bannister now with the ball. Plays Biggs. Akanovic does well to recover in midfield. Langford's facing the wrong way. Just needs to not do anything silly. He goes back to Patinama in goal. Switches on if he looks for it early. Instead he goes short to Kupic. Long ball forward to Greshey. Skips inside his man. Played a good ball forward to Sigrist, who strikes from the top of the box, and it looked like it went straight through the goalkeeper. But it's another assist for Thomas Greshey and a 3rd goal of the season for Jan Sigrist, our January signing. Good ball forward. It's a lovely touch just to get inside his man there, and then no one comes to him. Plays the ball forward to Sigrist. He takes one excellent touch with his right foot, steadies himself and smashes it back past the goalkeeper. Maybe the keeper could have done better. Maybe I'd be a bit upset if Patinama had done the same thing, but I'm going to take the goal. Corner to be taken here. Greshey goes long. Akanovic was in the area, and Akanovic is indicating that he was pushed, so they're going to have a look at VAR. And we've been given a penalty. It's going to be Sigrist to take, and he has a great opportunity to get his 4th goal for the team. I think it's the first double he's gotten in a match, so he's on for his first hat-trick for the club. Excellent for Arkanovic. We've swapped Kwakwa. Kwakwa is now playing as the deep-lying playmaker, and Akanovic is now playing as the box-to-box, and both of them seem to be doing a little bit better with it. Both have missed chunks of the season due to injury, but they seem a lot more settled as a midfield structure. That is an excellent save from Patinama. I spoke all the way through it, but Peters with an excellent free kick. It was high and far over in the corner, and Patinama did very well to get it across. And there's about 15 minutes remaining, or about 10 by the time the shout happens, so let's just use our demand more shout. Immediately there's a highlight. Gasparini with the ball. It's a long ball forward by Bradbrook, It's fallen for... Oh, it's a good tackle from Langford. It falls to Bannister, though, and thankfully his drive is tame and straight at Padanama, who holds it well. So still a danger there with that long ball forward that they seem to be looking for. And they've gone to 3 up top, which is just a nightmare formation if you're playing with advanced wing-backs or full-backs. Good cross came in there from Berger. It falls to Sigrist. Out to Rapp now. Back to Sigrist. Across to Arkanovic. Out to Berger again. Can he get a decent cross in? Squares it up for Sosa and his 14th goal of the season. This is as good a half of football as we've had all season. So for like the last 5 episodes where we haven't been able to get anywhere near a win, we're kind of making up for it a little bit now by absolutely smashing the shit out of Norwich. And I think we finished last season in a similar vein where we beat Liverpool quite convincingly as well. And we get to half-time, 9 shots, 8 on target, 53% possession, but most importantly, 5 goals. They've had 4, 3 and 47. Let's go into the dressing room, passionately tell everyone, very pleased with your performance, boys, keep it going. Really, all we have to do is focus on not conceding. I would take 5-0, and we'll have a look shortly once it comes up at around the grounds. So Stoke are losing 1-0 to Chelsea in their match, which does see us leapfrog them into 11th spot. Check the other result in a minute because Norwich have the ball here. Peters has a crossfield switch out to Leandro Damiao. Plays it now. It's a good deep ball across. Langford heads it away, but only as far as Toyin. Lays it back to Owen. Strikes from distance. It's a good strike, and the clean sheet has gone out the window. It's his first goal of the season, and his first goal for Norwich, apparently. It's a good ball across. Langford heads it away. Toyin just lays it back, and Owen takes one touch around, and then the keeper's a bit unsighted, so I can't be critical of him, but maybe we need to close down the ball a little bit more aggressively than that. We are leading the league in both yellow and red cards, but I'll go through that a little bit at the end. So Bournemouth in their match, they're actually not playing today. Neither are Watford. And Crystal Palace, who are one behind us, are currently losing to Swansea. So there is still potential that we might be able to jump up into 10th spot or into 9th spot if other results go our way. We're into the last 10 minutes now. We're going to use our demand more shout. They've immediately got a highlight. No, it's Greshey recovering the ball. I've forgotten to make subs in this game. Greshey's made a run from inside his own half. Can he find the finish? It's a good save from Gasparini. He had everything except the finish there. He just had to pass it into a corner, and it would have been a wonder goal. Greshey now with a deep cross. Headed back in by Sigrist, but Gasparini claims well. So it looks like we're going to have our two strikers are both going to finish with 2 goals, unless we can find a late one here. Corner to be taken by Greshey. Deep one across to Sigrist. He gets his header away. Kupic falls to, but Damiao gets the ball away. So they neither could get a hat-trick in the end, but an excellent performance. 20 shots, 15 on target, 52% possession. 5-1 in the end. Disappointed to concede that 1 goal, but still, if you had offered me 5-1 at the start, I definitely would have taken it. Passionately, well done, lads. Good win for us. So that does push us up into 11th spot. We will have an opportunity to try and leapfrog Bournemouth and Watford in the next game. We do have superior goal differences to both of them, but really we need Bournemouth to not pick up any more points, and we need Watford to lose on the last day. 5-star hashtag United Triumph. Thomas Greshey with 2 assists, the Man of the Match award. He was excellent, and we should tell him so. He's going to be out 5 to 8 days, so we'll probably miss the last game of the season, which is disappointing. Yaya Toure is, of course, the Norwich manager. He and I do not get along that well. And what I'm also going to do is we're going to make that quick adjustment now for Thomas Greshey. I'm not going to force him through the last game of the season. So we'll take him off, and then everyone that we expect to start in the next game, we're just going to give them 1 day's rest, which I do pretty consistently throughout the year, especially when you've got like a bank up of games there. All right, magic of editing, we're going to jump ahead to the game against Crystal Palace now. All right, and just like that, we are a week ahead. Only change that we spoke about earlier, Joe Carter will come in for the Indus Tomas Greshey, which is disappointing that that's how his season ends, but he's had a very good year. They've got Trey Coyle, an Arsenal junior at the start of the game. Looks like he's bounced around quite a few different clubs since the start. Reading, Ipswich, West Brom, Swansea, a brief stint in Besiktas in Turkey. Looks a solid-ish player, but certainly I think they've had better players when we played him throughout the course of the season. Skreblin, their star player, a left winger, looks like he's a good player, a 24-year-old Croatian, but not yet international. And Kovac, their leading assist getter, on the right side. So I can see that they're going to play with a lot of width, a lot of wing play, and that kind of does feed into the way that we're set up as well. Dressing room, passionately say, media have given you a lot of credit lately. Everyone's responded positively to that, and I would love to finish with 6 points. That was the goal at the start of the episode. It remains the goal now. We can beat Crystal Palace, and we can sign off our time at Selhurst Park in style. Sosa comes forward. It's going to be Arkanovic with an excellent goal. Second game in a row we've scored from kickoff, and that one was even quicker. 20 seconds, I think, roughly on the clock. I didn't actually see what the figure was, but holy shit. Carter with the ball forward here to Sosa, and Sosa just goes pretty much on a run direct at goal. Simmons doesn't know what to do. He tackles him. Akanovic skips past one challenge and pokes it into the side netting. An excellent, excellent start from the boys, and I think it was about 15 seconds in, which would have to be up there amongst the quickest goals we've ever scored. It would see us, as things currently stand, go ahead of Watford and Bournemouth. Screblin with a deep ball across. Akanovic flicks it on. It's going to come to Sigrist. He's got men coming to support him. He just needs to play the ball. Plays it now to Rapp. We've kind of done away with the space that we had available to us by taking too long to release the ball there. But Navarro and Kwakwa are still playing nice little triangles between each other. Akanovic drives forward now. Deep ball across towards Sosa, who gets his head to it, and his 15th goal of the season. We've left it late, but we have finally actually started to perform while we're recording. And it's excellent timing as far as I'm concerned. It's a great run here from Akanovic, just driving, waiting for a midfielder or a central defender to commit, and then hangs that ball far post. It's a volley in the end from Sosa on his left foot. He's either footed, he can play either side, and he pokes that one home to give him his 15th goal of the season. He's had an excellent second half of the season, and he's actually been excellent since we made our most recent tweak to the tactical setup. I think we've found the role for him. Berger plays a ball down the line to Sosa. It's a deep ball across, but Balcom comes out and claims the ball well. Looks for a long one forward now. Kupic doesn't win it. It falls to Trey Coyle. Out to Novak on the wing, who we looked at before the game. Baker Milner. Barslow inside to Potier. Strike from distance, hits the bar. It's released, but only as far as Novak. Deep ball across is headed away by Navarro. And thankfully the highlight ends. So there's still a danger from Crystal Palace. Kwakwa now with the ball. Back to Rapp, who took the throw. Kwakwa and Rapp just keeping it together. Look for a long ball towards Sosa. It was never really on. Berger's made an excellent tackle in midfield though. Can he release the ball into a good area? Hooker plays it forward, but Navarro will tidy up. Lays off to Sosa. It falls to Carter in the end, and he gets his 8th goal of the season with a good strike back across the goalkeeper. It says absolutely unstoppable in the commentary. We're going to check it out in 3 dimensions and see how it looks. Berger, just a kind of unnecessary ball there. Could have just found feet, but Navarro does very well to bring it down. Navarro's massive. He's so much bigger than all the other characters, and it's a good strike from Carter. Maybe the goalkeeper could have done better. It wasn't quite towards a corner or anything, but he did get a good hold of it. 30 minutes gone, we're going to use our demand more shout, as we so often do. Most seem focused or motivated. Kupic looked pressured, but he's having a good game. Carter now with the corner towards Langford front post, and he can only put it straight at Balcom in the Crystal Palace goal. Long ball forward for them again. Padam Nama comes out and heads it to no one in particular, and thankfully Kupic tidies up. Langford now with the ball. Forward to Navarro. To Rapp. Back to Kwakwa. Just need to keep the ball. To Rapp again. Langford, long ball down the channel. It's gotten in behind for Sigrist. He's got not much of an angle. Can he find the finish? Instead it's straight at Balcom, who did well. Came out, got his angles right, and kept it clear. So at halftime, 3-0 up, 9 shots, 5 on target, 46% possession. They have had 7 shots, 1 on target, and 54%. Let's go to the dressing room and let's passionately tell everyone, very happy with the way things are going, lads. Keep it going. They have got some good players out there. Troy Parrott is still in their squad, who's a very talented Tottenham junior at the start of the game. Tottenham and Manchester United, I think, have traded the last 3 or 4. We'll have a look at it after this, the last 3 or 4 Premier Leagues. And they are just developing some phenomenal talent. I'm not sure what upgrade they've had to their youth academy. And holy shit, what a goal that is. Sigrist eventually is credited with it, but that is Navarro's goal if I've ever seen one. Have a look at this strike. It looks like it hits pretty much dead on the pigeon and just doesn't cross the line before Sigrist slides in and knocks it home. It's a good ball here from Akanovic. Oh no, sorry, Sosa it is. Just finds a lovely way to pass in for Navarro, hits it first time, and that is pretty much Navarro's goal, but it's Sigrist in the end who potentially fouls both the goalkeeper and the defender, but I'm not going to tell the ref that, to claim that one, his 5th of the season since joining in January. Does see us go back to 0 goal difference. If we can get one more, we might finish in a positive goal difference for the first time in forever. Ball forward to Sigrist now. We are coming forward. Sosa's made a peel-off run off the shoulder if he can find him. Steady strikes from distance, but Balcom does very well and holds onto the ball. Let's have a look at some subs here. No one's playing badly. It's really hard to make subs when no one's playing badly. So we'll give it 10 more minutes and then we'll have a look from there. Around the grounds, Bournemouth, I think, are currently winning their game against Leicester 1-0. So there's still an opportunity for us to not finish in the top 10. It would see us drop down to 10th position, albeit with Watford still have a game to play. Novak now with the ball to Baker Milner. It's closed down well. Ball stays in. Anderson's going to recover. Back inside to Potier. To Novak. To Coyle. Forward to Parrott, the danger man. We did speak about him. I think his value got as high as like 45 million at some point during the series. Ball forward to Parrott now, a dead angle shot, and thankfully Pat Nama was switched on. He managed to do very well to get it on target. And with 15 minutes remaining, Scrublin's going to take this corner. Headed away. Simmons is going to chase. And thankfully that's the end of that one. They've got Deo Upamecano, who is a bit of a wonder-kid beast at the start of the game, if you can pick him up. So they've definitely got some talent, Crystal Palace. Scrubblin with the ball in. Pat Nama comes out and claims well. We got anything left in us in terms of counter-attacks? There's 4 men wide open on the left-hand side. Pat Nama, find them. Oh, there's 3 now. Now they're stepping inside. He plays it to Kupic eventually. Now forward to Carter, but it's a bit slow. Ikanovic out to Carter. Forward to Sosa. Overlapping run now, if he can find him. Good ball towards Sigrist, and that is an excellent, excellent cross and an excellent finish from Jan Sigrist. 4 goals in this episode and only had 6 for the season, so he saves it for when we're recording. Good from Carter here. Excellent ball from Sosa. Check this one out once he whips it in. Just knows where the run is, puts it into a dangerous area rather than aims for a man. And that 6-yard, that area between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot, hardest area for a keeper to come and get. You could say he threw it in the mixer, but that would be tacky and cheap. Throw in here for Berger, played to Ikanovic, forward to Carter. 30 seconds remaining of the additional 2 minutes of extra time. I'm happy if we just keep the ball down here in the corner, boys. Don't worry too much about it. Berger now, played forward to Sosa, out to Carter. It's excellent interplay to keep the ball. Looks to release Sosa again, but Balkan comes out and claims the ball. Are they going to try and bounce forward for one last attack, or is he just going to let the clock play out? The referee calls full time. What a performance. For so long, we've had these fantastic results, or these fantastic performances that you guys haven't been able to see. And any time I turn the camera on, we just get belted. So that is tremendous. I'm thrilled with how that's gone. That's as good an episode as we've ever had, because we've managed to get back-to-back wins in the last games of the season when we desperately needed them. And not just that, we've belted the living piss out of teams as well. Alright, so still not the final day of the season, so we might jump ahead 24 hours because Watford still have a game to play. We are as high as 10th. Bournemouth actually still have a game to play. I wasn't aware of that. So they are going to finish above us, but Watford, if they lose their game, as long as they don't get any further points, they will finish behind us on goal difference. If they pick up a point in that match, which is against Bournemouth, funnily enough. So hopefully, we're fingers and toes crossed, we want Bournemouth to win that catch-up game, which should be in the next day or two. Crystal Palace hammered by #United, 5-0 win. Finished off the season. Sigrist, his 2 goals, got him a 9.4 match rating. Excellent response from him. Players were fantastic. Superb win for everyone involved. Thrilled with how the season ended. Let's tell Sigrist how great he was. But really, that's bloody assist from Sosa was phenomenal. Holland boss Mike Vanderhorn, he's only 39. That's crazy. When the game starts, he's a player at Swansea. And Celta Vigo, Villarreal, Red Bull Salzburg, and then his first managerial appointment is with Holland. So it's a hell of a job to get with no prior experience. Alright, let's jump ahead a day or two and just see how that game ends up for Bournemouth and Watford. Lots of speculation this week linking with your vacant Tottenham post. Are you interested in the job? No, I'm not. Thomas Tuchel was previously a manager. I'm not sure if he stood down or not. There's quite a few big managers. Zidane's at Chelsea. Allegri is... Where's Allegri? Allegri's at Man City. And George Sampoli is at Manchester United. So #United overall best 11. We've entered a couple of different players this season. George Sosa is the main one. Oh, and actually no, he's the only one. So good for him making an appearance up top. Richard Threkaj still making into that team. Keith Mear was absolutely phenomenal for us. He's retired now, unfortunately, at the age of like 22. But a good chunk of these guys are still playing football somewhere. Charlie Morley we didn't get to pick up. Is Tom Humphrey still playing? No, we didn't get him either. I think Marcus Stamp is really the only one that we might actually try and bring in. 34 now, he's got to be getting close to retiring. Shashua's still only 31, like he's got time ahead of him. End of season awards, Juan Carlos Navarro, 53% of the fans' player of the season vote, more than fair. He only joined us in September once his work permit came through, but he's been excellent, like consistently around a 7.1, 7.2 rating. They've kept Asa O'Connell in the first team for the team of the season, which is frustrating given the way that he left. Ahmed Kwakwa's goal against Everton got the goal of the season award. Let's go and have a quick look at that. Isn't it great how quick things load now that we're on a desktop? It's just insane. Ball out here from Graydon. He's going to put it back across. Colbass finds Kwakwa. Oh, and it's just a strike from distance, and it's a pretty good goal. Maybe the goalkeeper could have done better. It hit the base of the post before it went in. It would look good on that halftime strike chart that you see on FIFA sometimes. Carter's interesting that he actually made the team of the season, And Langford at the back as well is a little bit of an interesting one. Not the ones that we would have picked to start the season in their relative positions. Season review. Few will have tipped #United to have been capable of avoiding relegation heading into the season, but they've confounded every expectation by achieving a top half finish. Have we though? No, there's still a game to be played, so there's still a chance we could drop down to 11th spot. But let's do pre-season for 5 weeks. I just want to see how this game between Bournemouth and Watford goes. Initial budget's $825k a week in wages and a transfer budget of $95.39 million. That is insane. We do have a small army of people here that we might go after, but really, we'd only be trying to bring in to give ourselves further quality and depth. Anyway, we'll go through that in the next episode. When is this game against Bournemouth and Watford going to be played so we can see where we finish? Look at all these players in the team of the week. That's the most I think we've ever had in the Premier League level. The whole back four made it, and Pat Nama and Greshey and Navarro and Sigrist. There's European Championships. It looks like Rojak has missed out on that particular tournament, which is disappointing for him, but he's barely played for us this season. Kupic will be there, Kolar will be there, Mulgard and Sigrist will be there for Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark and Switzerland respectively. The South Americans are going to head off to their whatever tournament that is with both their national sides, and the England under-20, Holland under-20 and Spain under-20s have called up a couple of our players as well. When is this game being played? This is getting ridiculous now. Interesting one, transfer spend in the Premier League. We spent $63 million, which puts us 16th in terms of revenue raised. Arsenal, the only team that made a profit on player sales. Alright, here we go. The game's finally going to take place. Alright, and Bournemouth have walloped Watford. Great alliteration, and it does mean that we finish in the top half of the Premier League for the first time. A 10th place finish. What a result for the season. Great progression on last year, finishing 17th. We had £26 million just for that, which is insane. Squad bonus of 500k goes out to everybody. Phenomenal results, phenomenal performance. We're going to come back. We're going to probably do one more season. I'm going to commit to one more definite season, which will probably, by the time this episode comes out on Monday, means we'll have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, potentially for the last 5 episodes of season 15. And then if the beta doesn't drop that Friday, the 25th, or that Saturday, the 26th, we're probably going to try and squeeze in another season as well and go for 16 seasons and get another 5 or so episodes out during that week. As always though, guys, more than anything, I just appreciate your continued support. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to be kept up to date on future videos. You can like _FM on Twitter if you want to be kept up to date to all our interactions with the community and continue the build to FM20. But as always, I've been Sean, this has been In The Mixer, and don't you ever forget to hashtag it.